Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that's just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Hermit card. So laying low this week, right, as typical Scorpios do. Remember, the Hermit card isn't just about withdrawal from the world, though. Sometimes it is that drive, that inner drive to find the truth of a situation. The star of truth is what the Hermit carries in his lantern, because it's the star that belongs to the star card. And that means that he's reaching for something that needs to be seen, that needs to be known. And so this week, yes, maybe you're lying low, maybe you are withdrawing from the world, or you're doing a little bit of the Scorpionic thing, but there's more to it. There's something that you need to know on a deeper level this week. There's something that you need to be aware of, and it's like it's an innate push towards finding out, some piece of information, some vital piece of information. It kind of feels like you're dancing to a song that only you can hear this week. And I know you guys are no stranger to that kind of energy, but I think this week it's probably more important than it's ever been. You may feel this, right? And remember, I always say to people, the Hermit card is what you do when the High Priestess has a message for you. So the fact that you have this as the key to the week means that there is change on the horizon, but there are also questions that are unanswered for you at this moment in time. And that pull, that drive that you feel within you to move towards something new, or to maybe withdraw so that you can reflect a bit, is because there is something that your intuition is trying to tell you that you haven't yet picked up. For your foundation card, you better shut up. Look at that, right? The High Priestess. That is, yeah, that's spooky. All right. Well, there you go. I don't think I need to tell you anymore, because it's come up in that way. All right. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the comments. So for your actions and options this week, you've got the Queen of Cups. So in a lot of ways, whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, doesn't matter, whether you're a person, however you identify, is not important, right? The Queen of Cups is an archetype of you as a water sign. So usually this is a water sign woman, Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. You've got this in your actions and options, which means that this week your primary concern is not just withdrawing from the world or going on that personal quest, but it's also about learning something or acknowledging what needs to be nurtured or nourished in your emotional sector or sphere. There's something about your inner world this week that you are asking some very deep personal questions about. Now, a lot of you might probably say, well, that's no different for a Scorpio. No, it isn't, but it has more weight this week than it does usually. This is something that you usually do a lot of, and so it's rare that it needs to be done. However, this feels like one of those weeks where that internal world, where you're mapping your own soul, psyche, mind, internal world, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be done this week, because there is an echo there. And the fact that that High Priestess came up as your foundation means that this whole week it's going to be bam, intuition, bam, intuition, bam, intuition. There's going to be one thing after another where your intuition and your gut is just consistently confirming things that you already felt or were hinted at, but you didn't have the concrete evidence on. So this is going to be very, very important week for you guys, I feel. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Fool card. New things, places, people and energies, right? So you've got this right underneath the Hermit. This does look like there are going to be some very interesting conversations initiated this week, possibly not all by you. You might find yourself talking about things or new things. You might find yourself doing new things this week that you hadn't even planned to do, or maybe you had planned to do at a different time or once upon a time, and suddenly they're back on the table. Sorry, I've got that itchy nose thing again at the moment. It's just driving me mad. The fact that you have this in your communications as well means that something that you learn this week is going to catch you by surprise. 9 out of 10 times, Scorpio is one of those signs you could tell them anything and they rarely raise an eyebrow. It's just like nothing shocks them because they're deeply in tune with human nature, and human nature is a whole spectrum of light and dark, right? So given the fact that they know most of the stuff that goes on within people and their minds and their psyches, etc., very rarely do you guys get shocked or bothered by anything. However, this week, someone is going to say something to you that absolutely makes you kind of go, whoa, okay. And this might be about a way that somebody views you or your behavior. It might be about the way that you see somebody's motives, and then they give you the reason they've been that way or have acted that way or are that way. And you're like, well, shit, I didn't realize that it came from there. Like, this is going to be one of those few rare weeks of the time, of any time really, that you guys are going to be shocked by something that you hear or something that is divulged to you. Now, when it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, this is new work. This is interviews, job interviews. This is searching for something new, especially with that Hermit card, because there's a sense here that maybe whatever you're doing now has got a sell-by date, and it's like, you know what, I feel like I'm done with this. It's no longer an avenue that I want to follow or even feel tied to in some way. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I mean, especially with the Hermit card, there's a strong sense here that you are... It's almost like the way that things are happening for you when it comes to your work or your business, it's like you know that you don't need to put that much juice in them anymore. But it does suggest to me that you are going to find that they need to go in a new direction. So you're going to have to change something. Even if you've made big changes already, there's something else that you're going to have to change, adapt, or even, you know, throw out altogether. I mean, I like the Fool card because it's always the gentler sort of... you know, it's always the gentler side or energy of Uranus to me. It's like that change that's beneficial and it's positive and it happens in a way that feels like you're maybe not in control, but you can at least roll with. It's not like the Tower, right? For those of you that are retired or no longer working, the fact that you've got this with the Hermit card, there is some aspect of the way that you live on a day-to-day basis that comes to an end now. This might be something you've been doing for years or an area that you've lived in for years. This is going to change, or suddenly you're going to find that what you once resonated so deeply with this week just doesn't seem to make sense to you. For your love and relations, you've got the Knight of Swords. So for those of you that are single, again, this is job interview energy, right? So this is definitely a possibility. Some of you could meet somebody, if you're single and you're looking and you've got an interview this week, you could meet somebody through the interview. And it's not uncommon that sometimes when we go to a place for one thing, we find what we're actually there for, and it's not the thing that we traveled for in the first place. I've seen people take jobs in other countries, travel to the other country, take the job and be like, no, this sucks and it doesn't work for me, but they met the love of their lives, and vice versa, and a whole other, you know, bunch of things besides. So, you know, this week you're gonna, you know, something's being revealed to you in that regard. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in relationships, I have to say this, you and your partner are disagreeing on something this week, and it may get a little bit heated. you know, it's not going to be like the end of the relationship or anything like that, but it is going to give you fresh perspective on maybe some of the ways that your partner thinks and feels about certain stuff, and vice versa. I think it's going to give you new insight into each other that maybe was actually needed that you didn't realize until it popped up. For your money and materials, you got the Sun card. So your finances, your money and your materials are great. You've got this with the Fool card, right? So this could be some sort of spontaneous invite, or for some of you, what I'm hearing is next level. So you could be going into the next pay bracket. You could be going into, you know, some upper level, upper limit of something where what you're getting is, you know, it's beyond what you've been used to up until this moment. I mean, either which way, your finances look great. Anything that's touched by the Sun card is blessed. This dispute, for those of you that are in partnerships or marriages, etc., you got the Sun card, so this, because that's your home sector as well, it basically diminishes whatever challenges you have. So it will be serious enough for you to pay attention, but not serious enough to create a massive ripple for, you know, long time to come in the relationship. For those, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, for me, this card always says that you get a free pass, like when it comes to health, when it, like whatever it is. The Sun card is, there are no negative meanings. It doesn't have any. It's too light, it's too bright, it's too powerful. And so, you know, no matter what surrounds it, it sheds light on and enhances that. So I love that. You know, your health is good this week. And then when it comes to your home and environment, again, whatever challenges might arise there are easily and quickly settled. Now, with the Fool card in close proximity, that's pregnancy, birth, and or new animal to the home energy. So, you know, that's really, really nice. All in all, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.